The moment I discovered my stepdad stole my college fund, something inside me broke, and something darker awakened. People often say betrayal hurts most when it comes from the ones you trust. I used to believe betrayal was something that happened in movies or in other people's lives, not mine. But that night, when I overheard the conversation that shattered my future, I realized my life was about to become one of those stories. I had worked so hard, sacrificed so much, and believed my mom's promises every time she said, "Don't worry, honey, your future is safe." But in just one selfish act, my stepdad decided my future didn't matter. With one stroke, he gave away the money that was meant for me, the money my mom had spent years saving, just so his precious daughter could have everything. It felt like someone ripped the ground from under me. But instead of falling, I grabbed onto something else. Anger. Anger so sharp it cut through the tears. Anger that whispered to me in the dark, "Don't cry. Don't beg. Make him regret it." That was the night I stopped being the quiet girl who let things slide. That was the night I promised myself I would not only take back what was mine, but I would make sure he never forgot the consequences of underestimating me. This isn't just a story about loss. It's about revenge. And trust me, he never saw it coming. I wasn't born into a perfect family, but for a long time, it was just me and my mom, and that was enough. She worked 2 jobs, sometimes 3, just to keep us afloat. Every night she'd come home exhausted, yet still sit at the kitchen table with me to talk about my dreams. She always said, "One day, you'll go to college. One day, you'll have the life I never could." Those words became my fuel. While other kids spent their summers at the mall, I spent mine babysitting or working small jobs. Every dollar I earned went into a jar, and every time my mom tucked away part of her paycheck, she'd smile and say, "This is your future, sweetheart." Together, we built what she proudly called my college fund. It wasn't millions, but it was ours, proof of her love and my hard work. Then, when I was 15, she remarried. At first, I thought it was a blessing. Maybe I'd finally have a father figure. Maybe things would get easier. But from the very beginning, something felt wrong. His eyes never softened when they landed on me. His words were polite enough around my mom, but sharp when we were alone. And then there was his daughter, Emily. Spoiled, adored, and treated like royalty, while I was just tolerated. I told myself to ignore it, to stay focused on school, on my dreams. But deep down, I knew I wasn't part of his family. The day everything crumbled is burned into my memory like a scar I'll never forget. I was walking past the living room when I heard his voice, my stepdad, low, smug, and full of pride. He was on the phone, laughing as he said, "It's settled. That money my wife saved? I moved it into Emily's account. She deserves it more. My daughter comes first." At first, I thought I misheard. My heart pounded in my ears. My hands went cold. That money wasn't just numbers in a bank account. It was years of sacrifice, late nights, skipped meals, and every promise my mom ever made to me. It was my future, my ticket out. I stormed into the kitchen and begged my mom to tell me it wasn't true, to tell me she hadn't let him take it. But the look in her eyes told me everything. She froze, her lips trembling, and then she whispered, "He said it was fair. He said we had to think of both girls." My world shattered. It wasn't just the betrayal, it was my mom's silence, her willingness to let it happen. I felt invisible, erased, like I didn't matter. That night, I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, tears soaking my pillow. My chest hurt from crying, but even through the pain, One thought kept me awake. If I let them get away with this, they'll think I'm weak forever. And I wasn't weak. Not anymore. After that night, everything in the house shifted, and not in my favor. My stepdad strutted around like some victorious king, parading Emily with all the things my money had bought her. A shiny new car appeared in the driveway, complete with a bow on top. Expensive tutors, dance classes, and shopping sprees followed. Every time I saw her flaunt something new, it felt like another knife twisting in my chest. At dinner, he never missed a chance to remind me of my place. He'd smirk and say things like, "Not everyone's meant for college. Some people are better off just settling." His eyes always flicked toward me as Emily giggled beside him. I wanted to scream, to flip the table, but I stayed quiet. Every cruel word he threw at me was fuel. Every insult another log on the fire burning inside me. What hurt the most was my mom's silence. She didn't defend me. She didn't fight for me. She just looked down at her plate, pretending not to hear. That silence was louder than his insults, and it told me exactly where I stood, alone. Each day, the weight of their betrayal crushed me, but instead of breaking, it hardened me. I wasn't just angry anymore. I was determined. If he thought he had won, if he thought I'd just accept being robbed of my future, he was wrong. Very wrong. That's when the idea of revenge first took root. I realized fighting him head-on would only make me look like the ungrateful stepdaughter he always painted me as. If I wanted justice, I had to be smarter. So I smiled, nodded, and pretended to accept my fate. I acted obedient, quiet, even grateful, all while secretly planning. The first step was gathering proof. I remembered something my mom once told me: always keep receipts. And she had. Every single deposit she'd ever made into my college account was still tucked away in her files. Late at night, I scanned them all into my laptop. Every dollar, every statement, it was undeniable evidence. Then I started watching him. I memorized his passwords when he carelessly typed them in, tracked his online bragging, and even took screenshots of his posts flaunting Emily's new opportunities. Piece by piece, I built a case that showed exactly what he had done: stealing funds that weren't his, funneling them into his daughter's luxuries. When I had everything, I struck. I sent the evidence to his boss, his friends, even members of our community. Emails, screenshots, documents, the truth laid bare for everyone to see. The fallout was immediate. His polished image as the caring father shattered overnight. His boss confronted him, neighbors whispered, and his so-called friends turned their backs. Emily's shiny car? Repossessed. Her expensive classes? Cancelled. And the look on his face when it all came crashing down? That was the first time in years I felt powerful. The storm I unleashed left him with nothing but shame. His reputation crumbled, his job slipped through his fingers, and suddenly the man who always towered over me stood small, exposed, and powerless. For once, I wasn't the girl he mocked. I was the one who brought him to his knees. My mom, finally seeing the damage she'd ignored, broke down in tears. She admitted she'd been blinded by love, too afraid to stand up to him. Her apology didn't erase the hurt, but it was the first time I felt she chose me again. Slowly, we began to rebuild what he had tried to destroy. Some of the money was recovered, not all, but enough to matter. Combined with scholarships I applied for her and the part-time jobs I took, I managed to step onto my college campus with my head held high. It wasn't the easy path my mom wanted for me, but it was mine, earned through resilience, sacrifice, and strength. As for him, he faded into whispers, just a cautionary tale in our community. The man who thought he could steal my future ended up losing his own. I carry scars from that chapter of my life, but I don't hide them. They remind me of the night I chose to stop being silent. They remind me that justice doesn't always come on its own. You have to fight for it. And in the end, I didn't just win back my future. I won back myself.